slower rate.
As he got closer, I heard the sound, and it was like a beep.
There was a high-pitched alternating frequency that carried real well, but the closer I got, the more subtleties I could hear to the sound. Parts of it that seemed to be at the edge of the range of human hearing on the high end, and also in the low end, where you were actually feeling the sound rather than just hearing it with the ear.
When my hands were on the steering wheel, I could feel it, and my elbow was on the window. I could feel it through that. It did get a little scary after a while because it started getting more intense, louder, more volume.
I jumped into a crouch, which was kind of like down and forward, which brought me that much closer to the crowd, so that when I stood up to run back to the truck, that's what brought my body into the closest proximity to the surface of that craft.
Turned my head the other way, and then the woods all lit up a bluish green light. And when I looked back, he's a few feet off the ground and he stretched out like this. I mean, it wasn't like he had a muscle at all, you know, or bones. He just crumpled up right there. I thought he was dead. And that's when Mike started the truck up and took off. We drove down the road maybe a quarter mile, half mile, you know, from the craft, and you could see vehicles, you know, every once in a while going down that road. Well, you knew it was hunters with guns. My thought at first was, well, let's go get some of those. A lot of us are saying to go back in that, and a lot of us say, you know, at the same time saying, let's go get help, you know, but it was Mike's decision.
Finally, I just said, I'm going back, you know. You can stay here or, you know, get in the truck. And I was surprised that they all got in the truck.
I think we had one flashlight, and he had the headlights of the vehicle shining up in that clearing on that slash pile. We walked around the perimeter with a flashlight, and all in a line, one right behind the other.
Once they couldn't find me, and you know, my body wasn't laying where I'd hit the ground, they just figured they needed to go and get help.
He spent 5 days on a UFO, he thinks. Now, there is some small time loss in there, but for all intent and purposes, he spent 5 days on there. He did come in contact with some beings that are human-like, but they weren't human.
Obviously, Dwayne, you know your own brother probably better than anybody else. Do you believe the story?
I've never seen him play a practical joke in his adult life.
The police up here said that if it's a hoax, they're going to go ahead and put all kinds of charges against him. And that's the only thing that's involved in it right now.
I see.
The only threats I got were like verbal harassment as I'm walking down the street or something, you know, somebody yell out, hey, you know, we know what you did, or saying we're stoned on drugs. And there was some government people, I'm sure they were government, because they used to drive them old Plymouth cars that, you know, they'd be the ugliest colored, and the rims always matched. And two